Hey there, amazing people. I'm thrilled to have you here today. Hello, dear viewers. Get ready to expand your horizons as we delve into Argobba language. Argobba is an Ethiopian Semitic language spoken in several districts of Afar, Amhara, and Oromia regions of Ethiopia by the Argobba people. It belongs to the South Ethiopic languages subgroup, and is closely related to Amharic. Writing in the mid-years, Edward Ullendorff noted that it is disappearing rapidly in favour of Amharic, and only a few hundred elderly people are still able to speak it. Today, many Argobba in the Harari region are shifting to the Oromo language. Those in the Ankober district speak the Amharic language. Without further ado, let's move on to the topic of consonants. Depending on the Argobba variation, the number of consonants varies. In the Shunk and Tolaha variation there are 26 consonant phonemes, in the other variations there are 25. The additional consonants are the pharyngeal fricatives and as well as the velar fricative X. Argobba consists of 11 plosive consonant phonemes. All of them except the voiceless postal volar plosive can be placed in the initial, middle and final position of the word. Consonants. In this segment, we'll be unraveling the complexities of vowels and exploring its multifaceted nature. There are 6 vowel phonemes in Argobba and they are not differentiated in vowel length. Vowels. The functions as a default vowel for the creation of nominal and verbal formations and is used in many words. The phoneme can stand in any position of the word and is related to the vowels E and O. The vowel E can be placed in any position of the word, while it is rarely in the initial position. The I occurs in any position of the word, but there is a prefix added when it is in initial position. There are few words that start with the E. The phoneme U almost exclusively occurs in the central or the final position of the word. The vowel O has its roots in the diphthong O and it can occur in any position of the word. The functions as an epiphysis vowel and aids to construct a phonotactically functioning syllable structure. It is a vowel without any specifications and is used solely to create a satisfying structural condition. As we move forward, let's uncover the untold stories and fascinating intricacies of syllable structure. The syllable structure can be divided into onset, nucleus and coda. In a syllable there has to be at least a nucleus. The other parts are not mandatory. The Argobba language has 5 syllable types, V, VC, CV, CVC, and CVCC. V and VC are without an onset and A is added in initial position. The syllable type CV is a consonant in onset position and a vocal in nucleus. Some words only consist of this syllable. Usually they occur together within more phonetically complex words. The syllable type CVC consists of a consonant in onset, a vocal in nucleus and a consonant in coda. CVCC on the other hand consists of a consonant in onset, a vocal in nucleus, and 2 consonants in coda. There are restrictions regarding the consonants in the coda position. For example, the first consonant has to be a fricative, nasal or a liquid. The second consonant is always an occlusive. If this is not given, the epenthetic vowel has to be added. As we venture forward, let's examine morphology in detail and gain a deeper appreciation for its significance. Argobba is an agglutinative language, using suffixes and prefixes to change the meaning of the words. Sometimes in special cases infixes are used, but it occurs less often. Brace yourself for a deep dive into cases as we explore its impact and relevance in our evolving narrative. There are 4 different types of cases in Argobba: the nominative, accusative, genitive and oblique case. The cases differ in their usage and also the formation, especially in the addition of pre- or suffixed adpositions. Case affix adposition example translation nominative. Lumayo his son has come accusative en on line that say send the kind to me genitiva I after from person lamtimo hams cowblique benefactive durative locative instrumental temporal ablative causative comparative commutative pencil amakalfa on with intemp. From about like with the liaisament baobab to Anturix so waved amabiti moracle for my child for a week on the podium with a spear in the morning away from you about the necessary like the house with the elderly. Get ready for a captivating exploration as we unravel the layers of pronouns and their profound significance. It is differentiated between 4 groups of pronouns. There are demonstrative and interrogative pronouns as well as possessive markers for nouns. The pronouns that are used most and are most diverse are the free personal pronouns, which also differ between singular, plural, gender, and case. In general, it can be noted that the nominative case is the most neutral form of the free personal case and mostly also does not change the pronoun depending on the gender. In the accusative case, the endings are different compared to the nominative case, but apart from the first person singular, the beginning of the word is the same. The pronouns in genitive are different compared to the other cases, but the most different is the oblique case, where all pronouns start with an L. As a showing of respect, the personal pronoun of the third person plural in the nominative case is used. It is also added as a congruence marking morpheme. Person nominative accusative genitive oblique first. An I in io lio 2. Sk. Fank an axon en ax lax law 3. Skmfwt ayat waitan ayatan iwut ayat liwat liat first plural an in a lina 2. Plural ankam axam and axam laxam 3. Plural mulman ilmil. Personal pronouns in cases. In the upcoming portion, we'll be dissecting verbal morphology to gain a comprehensive understanding of its implications. The semantic basic meaning of a verb in Argobba is usually expressed through a verb root that is made up of 3 root consonants which will be called radicals. Linguists are not entirely sure if there are only radicals in Argobba or if the roots also consist of vowels in certain cases. The construction of a verb is done through combining the radical with one other morpheme, which determines the way, order and amount of vowels in the context of the root morpheme, which is called a template. A template consists of several vowels that can be added in between and around the radical. In nominal morphology, templates are not as common and are only used to form deverbal noumena. Another important aspect of the formation of verbs in Argobba are the bases. One verb can have several different bases because depending on the conjugation, a different template is used. There are 4 main different conjugations: the perfective, imperfective, jussive, and the converb. The main stem of the verb already consists of all the bases needed to conjugate. Usually there is one base for every verb for every conjugation. Basis conjugation example translation sober perfected sober I broke spr imperfective unspr we broke spr jussive spr you they shall break sober converb sober he breaks and. There is a difference between the main stem and an expanded stem. The expanded stems are the part that changes when conjugating and differs between the forms of conjugation. The main stem maintains the same and is the base for the expanded stem. Some types of verbs use one base for several conjugations, and for some verbs the base differs depending on an affirmative or negative form of the conjugation. In the perfect and converb conjugations they are formed by adding on suffixes. The imperfective and jussive conjugations are formed by adding a combination of pre and suffixes. The verbal subjects are also formed by using a template and the radical. Let's transition to conjugation of the perfective and uncover its significance. The conjugation differs between the affirmative, negative, and relative form. To achieve the negative perfective, a prefix has to be added onto the affirmative perfective conjugation. It is differentiated not by an extra word, but by adding a prefix or a suffix into the existing conjugation. In the following table, the N is standing for the negation marker, while the SUB stands for the subject congruence suffix, which indicates what person it is about and is added onto the perfective base. Affirmative perfective base sub negative N perfective base sub N relative REL N perfective base sub. In the next portion, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of conjugation of the imperfective and examining its broader implications. The conjugation consists of a base and 1 or 2 subject congruence affixes. The subject congruence consists of a pre and suffix. The prefixes vary in usage while the suffixes are predominantly used to indicate the plural or feminine form. There are also differences in the conjugation depending on if it is an affirmative, complex, negative or relative verb. The generic masculine is the standard, but in case there are predominantly women, a feminine marker is suffixed after the imperfective base. Affirmative sub imperfective base fem complex imperfective sub imperfective base fem aux negative n sub imperfective base fem in relative rel n sub imperfective base fem. In the upcoming section, we'll be dissecting conjugation of the converb and exploring its implications in greater detail. The conjugation consists of the converb base and the subject congruence marker. It cannot be formed in a negative or relative form. Converb base sub. Prepare yourself for an in-depth analysis of conjugation of the jussive in this section. It is formed with the jussive base and a prefix subject congruence marker, and sometimes a plural or feminine marker is suffixed. The subject congruence affixes that are used in this conjugation are identical to those used in the imperfective conjugation. It is used to create imperative phrases, while these are only suffixed, but all other forms are created with pre and suffixes. Imperative subjussive base ipfem negative n subjussive base ipfem. Numerous. In Argobba it is differentiated between the singular, plural and transnumeral form of a noun. The unmarked form of a noun is in the singular or the transnumeral form, while the transnumeral form is used when the noun generally refers to an unknown number of things or people. The transnumeral formation is marked with sow. The plural is demonstrated through a suffix on the noun, which can either be a or just. That is used when the noun ends on a consonant. The latter one is used when the noun ends on a vocal. Noun consonant lambs glamapple cow cows. Noun vocal dorisk doripal chicken chickens. Another possible formation is adding the number the noun refers to in front of the noun that is pluralized. In the example, the yasa 10 is the number the noun refers to. Yasa swore antiantonym. 10 people set off from here. The plural form can also be used when the exact number of objects is not known, but it has to be a limited number, as when referring to a certain group of people that is known of in the context that it is in a specific range of number of people and not unlimited people. In this section, we'll be shedding light on numbers and its impact on our understanding of the subject. One hand it F20 Maya, Heikatukit, hit 30 Sesa 3 Sost, Sokost 40 Harbor 4 Arbit, Harkt 50 Hamza 5 Amst, Hamst 60 Sulsa 6 Stest 70 Spa 7 Sasint 80 Smenia 8 Summant 90 Stana 9 Chun, Item 102, Buckle Tendasa 200 Kid 2. As we progress, let's zoom in on forming questions and examine its role in shaping our overall narrative. In Argobba, questions are formed using different interrogative pronouns that are used to convey the different meaning of the questions. There are no different markers for yes/no questions and information questions. Interrogative pronoun meaning optional apposition meaning on the what lint for what why from what with what man who colin with whom who it was like you and ye f bint whose femis queren in were from were mit like which what how my when how my company. The interrogative pronoun omla is used for questions that refer to a subject in a nominative sentence or to an object that is part of a verbal sentence. The short form what is often used when adding a prefix, but is also sometimes used on its own. The interrogative pronoun man is used when asking for a subject or object in a verbal sentence or the subject of a nominative sentence. When asking for the direct object, the man carries to n to show the accusative marker. It also has a short form mal that is always used in combination with the prepositions. Man can also be used when asking for a group of people, but then it is usually used in combination with the prefix associative marker in. The interrogative pronoun it is used to help identify a reference, which can be done more clearly through the context and through adding prepositions. In combination with the prepositions, it is used to ask for location or time. Though it is a combination of the preposition am like and at which with which together is used to say like what or paraphrase to how. Let's now shift our focus to appositions and explore the ways in which it shapes our perspective. In Argobba, postpositions and appositions are prominently used. With the foundation laid, let's embark on a journey into prepositions. Prepositions have either one or two syllables and two allomorphisms that differ in the vocal in the end. When a preposition is added on a noun that starts in the epenthesivocal, the preposition ends in I. When the prepositions are added on other nouns, all the other prepositions end on the vocal except for the preposition ama. When a preposition is added on a relative verb, then the end vocal of the preposition is dropped. It can be translated within, on, by, at, to, from. The preposition is used in different contexts to show distinct relations, and the exact meaning of the preposition is determined by the context. Often it shows a stationary location or a movement towards the location or towards a target. It consists of three allomorphemes which are determined by the word that it is prefixing. Only when it is added on a word that starts with a consonant that is used entirely, otherwise it is changed to T when it is added on a word that starts with a, or that is dropped when in combination with a demonstrative noun, or can be translated with for. In combination with a noun, it is used to mark the recipient of a verbal act. On the other hand, it is used in combination with a detransitive verb when it takes on the role of a dative or a benefactive. It can also be used to show the goal or reason behind a verbal act. Sometimes it is used in temporal concepts when adding it on a nominative phrase that is showing a time frame or a point in time. In combination with the morphemes, it is used to articulate a duration of a time frame. It can be translated with at, on, in, to, through directionality and with instrumentality. In many ways it is used similarly to the preposition. It is also used when forming appositional phrases that show locality and directionality. In addition to that, it also shows instrumentality, modality and causality. Usually it is added onto adverbs, postpositions or relational nouns that go after the noun they refer to. When speaking about a month or a specific time frame, it can be added as well. Bidarinabis in November and December. Unt. It is often used to form appositional phrases with ablative meaning, or to mark temporal and conditional phrases. It can also show the start of a movement and a reason for a situation. When used in a comparative construct, it is formed with the relational noun amount. X. Fatuma and Talima Neman. Fatuma is prettier than Helena. Emma. It is also used to form appositional phrases that show modality or have a simulative meaning and are adding into nominative phrases to dictate the standard comparison. When used with relative verbs, ama is used to mark the complementative phrases, modal phrases, and a certain type of temporal phrases. Requests are formed with the preposition ama when it is a prefix to an imperfect form that is portraying a negative or positive request. Sil can be translated with because of about. It is used in the formation of appositional phrases and it shows the focus of the conversation. It can also function in the formation of a causal sentence when it is used as a prefix to a relative verb. Silitmert noi is it because of the class. Ist. The preposition ist is used to show distance in time and location when it is a prefix to a noun that is portraying the ending point of the said distance. In that case, it is also usually used in combination with the postposition trs. In some cases, it can be translated with the word including when attempting to make an inclusion statement. As we venture forward, let's take a closer look at postpositions and its impact on our understanding. Trs can be translated with until. The postposition trs can be used in a local or temporal sense. It is used to portray a limit of the local distance or in the context of time the end of a time period. It is always used as a suffix to the noun that it refers to. Often it is utilized in combination with ist until all for that are prefixed to the noun that they refer to. When talking about the exact moment now, the preposition can be dropped. This can be translated with to seem to be similar. This is used to form complementary phrases and it is added after a verb that is in the form of the imperfect. It's based on the noun that which means size or scope. It is used as a noun and as a postposition that shows comparisons. Then is used as a postposition to the noun that is doing the comparison. Simultaneously, on the noun that is the object of the comparison is added the preposition ant as a prefix. Cull. It is the only postposition that is a bound morpheme and can only be used in the formation of phrases of together with x. It can display names, people or pronouns. Anana olma cull anatorg on the we and they didn't know each other. In the next portion, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of phrases and examining its broader implications. In Argobba there are 3 different kinds of phrases: the nominal phrase, the verbal phrase, and the adpositional phrase. They are all composed of a word that is the head of the sentence syntactically and semantically, and other elements are added that are dependent on the head. The head carries the most important information and also indicates which phrase has to be used. As we enter this new chapter, let's navigate the complexities of nominal phrases and unravel its multifaceted nature. The head is usually a noun or a pronoun, and the phrase can be formed in an easy or a complex pattern. An easy nominal phrase consists of one element, while a complex one consists of a head and at least one more element, and they add to the content of the phrase with more information. Nominal phrases are special because they can form syntactical functions like subjects and objects. Meanwhile, the head is placed last in the sentence and the modifying elements are placed before it. An example of an easy structure would be the following. An example of a complex structure. It consists of a head noun and more modifying elements that can carry more grammatical or semantic information, such as demonstrative pronouns, adjectives, numerals, quantifier, and relative phrases. In a complex nominative phrase, the elements are sorted in the following pattern: DEM adjective, numerals, quantifier, relative phrase, POSART, head noun, POSART. In the upcoming section, we'll be shining a light on verbal phrase. This phrase consists of a verb and a complement, where the verb is the head of the verbal phrase and sometimes a nominal argument is added. It is used to portray a situation, an occurrence, or an action. In the case of a predication, the verbal phrase is the root of the predication. The structure is less complex than the one of nominal phrases. It can consist of just a verb or a verb and its complements. Usually they are intransitive and just consist of a complex main verb. When a verbal phrase is formed by using a transitive verb, then the direct object is part of the phrase. As we transition to the next segment, let's unravel the mysteries surrounding adpositional phrase and gain a fresh perspective. This phrase is used to add to a predication with extra information and either consists of a combination of an adposition with a noun that it refers to, or they have a complex structure. The complex structure usually consists of 3 elements: adverbs, postpositions, and a relational noun. These elements are supposed to add to the information that is known about the situation, which is usually about local, temporal, or modal circumstances that are about the action in question. The order of the phrase is the following: preposition, reference, noun, adverb, relational noun, postposition. Untaro lurla over the gravel. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and share it with someone who might benefit from it.